Here we go.
So they're finally here, performing for you. If you know the words, you can join in too. Put your hands together if you wanna clap as we take you through this monkey rap. Donkey Kong.
After 26 years, Nintendo has finally given us the new full 3D Donkey Kong adventure game, one that lets DK literally break out of his long-time 2D shell. It's Donkey Kong Bananza for the Nintendo Switch 2. Once again stepping away from King K. Rool and his gang of reptiles, this game throws Donkey Kong into a massive world underneath the Earth's crust, where he has to battle an evil corporation that has stolen a bunch of valuable Banandium gems. DK is joined by a little talking rock who turns out to be a 13-year-old Pauline. Yes, the same superstar singer from Super Mario Odyssey, which also makes this a successor/prequel to that game. And no, that's not a spoiler since Nintendo themselves advertised her being in the game for at least a month before the game came out. Together, this unlikely pair have to push their way to the Earth's core to make both their wishes come true and stop the corporate villains. It's the kind of story you'd expect from a DK or a Mario game that delivers big spectacle and action set pieces and worlds for these two to traverse, which is really what you want from such an ambitious action-adventure game. Now I have to say, I'm not a fan of the new art style they used for DK's face, but that nitpick aside, DK and his world all look great in 4K on the NS2. With the bright colors, shiny HD polish, smooth textures, and little details like DK's fur, all running on a smooth frame rate too. It looks a lot like Super Mario Odyssey, but with very noticeable visual improvements. Sound is also good, though with some curious choices. While everyone speaks in blurbs and subtitles as per the Donkey Kong usual, Pauline gets subtitles and full voice acting much like Odyssey. It did seem weird for a while, but it made more sense the more I thought about it. I mean, she's a human fish out of water surrounded by anthropomorphic animals. She's lucky she understands them at all. Aside from all that, the sound effects are really good on big and small levels. From the sounds of DK smashing everything around him to little things like Pauline's reactions. It's all supported by great music tracks that give a mix of the hip-hop style we know and love from DK, and more traditional action-adventure music and jazz-type music for Pauline. Not to mention the tribute to DK's first venture into 3D. The first obviously amazing thing about this game is the idea of huge worlds being contained underground and being so open that they have their own sky and winds, everything you see on the surface. This whole underground world is a lot like the Hollow Earth in Godzilla vs. Kong, or Journey to the Center of the Earth for you older viewers. The other big thing with gameplay mechanics is how much of your environment is destructible. In fact, the game is built around destruction. DK has different attacks in a forward punch, upward punch, and downward punch, plus ripping out part of a surface and smashing other things with it, or throwing it. With gyro aiming, I might add. While this is obviously used for combat, most of the time it's a big part of exploration, which makes all the destruction more fun, while at the same time less mindless than you might expect. As DK, you're encouraged to bash your way through ice, mountains, and caves of stone to make your way to an objective or find hidden items like fossils and bananas. DK's clap also gives a quick burst of radar to show you where important items are hidden, so you know to start punching your way there. All kinds of things can be found simply by smashing things and making new paths for yourself. Plus, DK's got this cool ability where he can surf chunks of land he pulled up. There's a lot of freedom in the gameplay, and that freedom only grows as you find Banandium gems, as 5 gems earns you 1 skill point used to unlock a new ability or improve one you already have. It's in kind of a skill tree form, but made as more of a chart so you don't have to fill in one skill to upgrade another, which makes this a more accessible feature to a wider gaming audience. I also have to point out that there's a lot of very imaginative level designs with some funky surfaces they came up with for this game. Yet there are enough indestructible and hazardous surfaces to prevent you from destroying everything and giving the game enough structure to still have good challenges. Some indestructible surfaces lead to clever platforming and climbing challenges that put your understanding of DK's controls and abilities to the test. Which leads me to another star of this game, Little Pauline, who after overcoming some stage fright, learns how to sing songs to give DK the power of Bananza! These powers transform DK into big versions of animals so he can use their abilities for puzzles, combat, and platforming. They're really cool powers that are fueled by gold and large fruits you can find, and using them only gets more fun as you discover more. As part of that freedom, you can activate a Bananza ability almost any time as long as you have your Bananza bar filled up. And there are plenty of times these powers are useful, if not required. As DK's little sidekick, Teenage Pauline also gives quick tips as you play, mostly pointing out health items that appear. Her inclusion was not by accident either. Her singing is a great way to keep the music and rhythm a key part of the Donkey Kong experience, just as it's been for most of his games. But her inclusion is also part of this being a Super Mario Odyssey successor. That, along with being able to buy alternate clothes for DK and Pauline that improve stats like resistance to hazards and ways to restore Bananza energy and health. It all culminates to fun boss fights that are especially exciting with all the combat moves DK has. I didn't find most of the bosses all that challenging until I got towards the halfway point of the game, not like most of the DK64 bosses. But even the easier ones I had fun pummeling. Nintendo somehow nailed that perfect balance here. While $70 is a little high for any game, hint hint industry, Donkey Kong Bananza definitely justifies a $60 price. It's also a nice change that DK gets the first big adventure game on the brand new Nintendo platform instead of Mario. It's a 3D Donkey Kong game that was well worth waiting for, and something every DK fan should play. Well, that's my review of Donkey Kong Bananza for the Nintendo Switch 2. To help me produce more videos like this, please support my Patreon page. Special thanks to my current patrons here. Remember that supporting my Patreon gets the name of the credits and access to my main videos a day early. Also be sure to watch my previous reviews of Donkey Kong 64 for the Nintendo 64 and Donkey Kong Country for the SNES. See you all next time!